In the early 1920s, Germany was a broken nation. Its economy was shattered, its people were humiliated by defeat, and its future felt stolen. This was not just a country in crisis. It was a society searching for someone to blame. And that is where Adolf Hitler enters the story. Not as a monster at first, not as a dictator, but as a man who understood something far more dangerous than weapons. He understood people. Hitler was dangerous, not because he was the strongest man in Germany, but because he knew how fear works, how anger spreads, and how hopeless people can be turned into followers. This is the real reason history collapsed into war. After World War I, Germany was punished harshly by the Treaty of Versailles. Territory was lost, the military was crippled, and the economy was forced to pay massive reparations. Millions of Germans felt betrayed, not just by foreign powers, but by their own leaders. Inflation destroyed savings overnight. Jobs disappeared. Pride vanished. In moments like these, logic becomes weak. Emotion takes control. And Hitler knew exactly how to speak to emotion. He did not rise to power by accident. He studied crowds. He studied reactions. He studied how words could create identity. His speeches were not complex. They were simple, repetitive, and emotional. He told people three things again and again. You are not weak. You are betrayed, and I will make you great again. That message alone was enough to ignite something dangerous. Hitler gave people an enemy. Not a real one, but a symbolic one. When people are suffering, they want explanations. And Hitler offered answers that felt satisfying. Economic collapse was not random. Defeat was not earned. Pain was not meaningless. Someone had caused it. This lie gave people relief. Because blaming others feels easier than accepting uncertainty. This is where the danger truly began. Hitler understood propaganda better than any leader of his time. He did not rely on facts. He relied on repetition. If a lie is told once, it is questioned. If it is told 100 times, it is debated. If it is told 1,000 times, it is accepted. Radio, posters, films, rallies. Every medium repeated the same narrative. Germany was rising. Enemies were everywhere, and only one man could save the nation. He also understood symbolism. Uniforms created unity. Flags created identity. Marches created belonging. People did not feel alone anymore. They felt part of something larger. This emotional connection was stronger than reason. And once emotion replaces reason, people stop asking questions. One of Hitler's most dangerous traits was patience. He did not seize power immediately. He waited. He used legal systems, elections, and political chaos to his advantage. When he failed, he adapted. When he was imprisoned, he learned. When he was underestimated, he grew stronger. By the time many realized the threat, it was already too late. Hitler also mastered fear. Fear of outsiders. Fear of change. Fear of losing identity. He convinced people that compromise was weakness, that empathy was betrayal, that obedience was loyalty. Once fear dominates a society, violence begins to feel justified, and cruelty begins to feel necessary. Perhaps the most disturbing truth is this: Hitler did not force millions to follow him at gunpoint. They followed willingly, not because they were all evil, but because fear, pride, and anger cloud judgment. This is what made him so dangerous. He turned ordinary people into participants. As his power grew, so did his confidence. He believed history itself was on his side, that destiny had chosen him. This belief removed limits. Laws became obstacles. Human lives became numbers. Entire nations became chess pieces. Once a leader believes he is unstoppable, destruction becomes inevitable. Hitler's military aggression did not begin with war. It began with silence. Each violation was tested. Each reaction was measured. When no one stopped him, he moved further. This pattern repeated again and again, and every delay made the eventual conflict worse. War did not start because Hitler was irrational. It started because he believed others were weak. Appeasement confirmed his assumptions. Silence encouraged expansion. By the time resistance formed, the cost was unimaginable. But Hitler's greatest danger was not what he destroyed. It was what he revealed. He showed how fragile civilization can be, how easily democracy can collapse, how quickly reason can be replaced by loyalty. He proved that a society does not fall overnight. It falls step by step, speech by speech, lie by lie. Even in defeat, his impact did not disappear. The consequences of his rise reshaped borders, politics, and global power. And the psychological lessons remain relevant today, because the conditions that allowed him to rise are not unique to history. Economic fear, political division, loss of identity. These forces still exist. This is why understanding Hitler matters, not to glorify him, not to sensationalize him, but to recognize the warning signs. The real danger is not one man. It is what happens when fear replaces thought, when loyalty replaces truth, and when power goes unchecked. History does not repeat itself exactly, but it echoes. And Hitler's rise is one of the loudest echoes humanity has ever created. Ignoring it is dangerous. Understanding it is essential, because the greatest threat to any society is believing that something like this could never happen again.